Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. I, of course, am with Originator Success here with your daily mortgage rate update, the only place where you guys get to join me live on YouTube or Facebook at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time each and every weekday. Coming to you today from Sheets. How about that, huh? Sheets. Driving back from Pittsburgh. Had to pull off and give you guys some time and chat. So if you're watching live, say good morning like Mike Tebow and Mallory Fotiadis. Good morning, y'all. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget to give me hashtag replay in the comments. Good morning, Tim Klyla. Great to see you here, my friend. Who else is here? Say good morning. Let me know how you guys are doing. While you guys are hopping on, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. This morning, we are still at the same spot we were at yesterday. We're going to go ahead and talk about cautiously floating. There's a lot of risk floating into tomorrow. Things can go either way. Really, nobody knows. We're going to get the inflation data in the morning, the Fed meeting in the afternoon. Now, normally when we go into a Fed meeting, I like to float into a Fed meeting because it gives us the opportunity to react. However, when we get the CPI inflation data first thing in the morning, that, of course, is going to hit morning rate sheets. Now, if that data comes in even an eighth worse than what's expected, we've seen the reactions to that. It's been very negative. It would push rates back up probably another eighth to a quarter of a point. And then we're going to have that Fed meeting in the afternoon. So tomorrow is really a day of gamble. And we don't know what's going to happen. So you've got to basically assess risk. Loans that are closing near term, they could see rates jump a quarter point and get stuck there. But if they lock, you better know what your float down policies are, because if we do get a better than expected inflation reading, or at least a positive reaction to it tomorrow, then that's going to go into the Fed meeting, and in that afternoon we could have some positive things going on there. So Ron Siegel says today is National Corn on the Cob Day. I don't even know if you can put a question of the day on that one. Corn on the cob. What do you put on your corn on the cob? I'm a butter, salt and pepper guy myself. What do you put on your corn on the cob there, Ron Siegel? What a boring corn on the cob day. Who, with all the corn in this country, though, that doesn't surprise me. So, good morning, Alexandria, Yasmin, Mike. Great to see all of you guys as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at the technicals, and we'll chat about that stuff for a bit. So, taking a look here, mortgage-backed securities are up 8 basis points to start the day, which is nice to see after being down, of course, on Friday and a little bit of a hangover yesterday where things were continuing to get worse. Right now, you can see mortgage-backed securities. Check it out right here. You can see this red candlestick. It's right underneath the green 100-day moving average, and it's right above the blue 25-day moving average. Again, I don't put a tremendous amount of stock in the 25-day moving average to give us a support level. You could see that it gets broken very easily. But everything, also technicals aren't going to matter as we head into tomorrow's Fed meeting and the inflation data. 10-year Treasury yield 4.45, falling back from yesterday's high, which is good. Yesterday it closed at 4. All right, I'm getting old. I can't read that. 4.47. So it's good to see at least that we have a little bit of improvement there. As far as that goes, taking a look here, you can see the big dip that we had on Friday at the jobs data, and then it continued to kind of work its way down. It hit bottom, and now it started to bounce back up. Basically, everyone's taking positions ahead of the Fed meeting, so we'll see where all of that goes. Interesting article from Timiraos this morning. Nick is the Fed whisperer, and what that means is there's some talk that the Fed members actually, especially Powell, kind of seed the garden by planting these thoughts with Nick Timiraos. The Fed goes on a blackout period 10 days before the meeting, so the Saturday before the Saturday. So they're not allowed to go out there and make any big noise about what is expected to happen. And there's talk that they kind of leak that sentiment and that data through somebody like Timiraos here. And one thing that kind of caught my eye is when I read this article, one of the gists was that it talked about how that the Fed officials are, even though they kind of don't see things eye to eye, there are definitely some hawks and some doves there. But they do all see the fact that it's unlikely that we're going to see any rate movement through the June or July meeting, making the first possibility September. Markets are pricing in November right now for the first meeting. So you'll see here, after concluding a rapid series of rate rises last year, Fed officials remain widely united. Okay, these are little things that we want to kind of pay attention to. Widely united that the best course of action for an economy with solid growth and inflation still running somewhat above their target is to make no moves. In effect, they're taking the summer off. And this is, again, just look for these little clues, is kind of what we're saying, to evaluate how hiring, spending, and inflation are faring 1 year after they lift their rates to a 2-decade high. But that's exactly what's being priced in by the markets anyway. No move in June, expected to stay at 5.25. July, same thing. I mean, barely an 8% expectation that we could see a rate cut. So that's already being priced in. The question is, will it happen in September? And it's right now almost a 50-50 that we could see a rate cut in September. And that's what's going to either improve or worsen as we get the inflation data tomorrow and as the Fed meeting progresses and we get to the Powell's press conference. You're either going to see expectations that they could do a September hike or that they won't do a September hike, and that by the end of the year right now, the very, very small winner is that we will be, again, only one rate hike back to being priced in, possibly two is the second runner-up, and then much farther away is either three or none. You can see that those are still on there. So that's what we're going to see mortgage rates kind of move based on that reaction. Right now, mortgage rates in the low sevens, and they're going to stay in the low sevens. If we don't see a positive move tomorrow, we're likely going to, not in one day, but likely over a couple of days, we'll push back up to about 7.5, according to the averages that we find on Mortgage News Daily. That's not that far off from where we were at the end of May. But if we do get some benefit, the question is, how far down will they go? I was talking that we could see 6.75, but that was before we had the blow up in the labor data. That's off the table now. Our best bet is going to be back where we were in the middle of May, about a month ago, and when we were just capping back down to 7. So that's our best case scenario. That's your range that you're looking at if you're trying to decide how much risk that we have going into everything. So. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip that off. Ron Siegel said, ignore my message. Would you prefer we celebrate National German Chocolate Cake Day? Yes, much more than Corn on the Cob Day. Oh, my goodness, this is a long one. All right, hold on. All right. Maverick, time is your greatest enemy. Phase 1 of the mission will be a little... you pulled the thing from... whatchamacallit, Top Gun. Got it. Mike, am I still coming to Michigan in July? Yes, I am going to the Dearborn area in July. Did I mention that, or did you just see it on my calendar? Tim Clyla, Trader Joe's chili lime seasoning on corn is the best. We ever had the chili lime seasoning? Trader Joe. No. Oh, I'll have to try that, Mike. I like chili lime. So, all right, y'all. Well, that's about it. Not much to... did I say hike? I say hikes even when I shouldn't say hike. Cuts. So I still have hikes on the brain when it comes to the Fed. All right, y'all. Have a fantastic one. I'll see you tomorrow, and we can talk about the inflation data and what that might have on the Fed. So only 15, 16 people on today. Tomorrow should be a much bigger day. Catch you later.